More, please. R-E-Y-N-D.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome out once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I am your host, your YouTube sign off and imitator. Never duplicated. Superstar Tim Vinci. We're gonna go raw this week, but in Houston, Texas. And well,
I'm gonna let it ride out.
everything's bigger in Texas, and the Go Home Raw did not disappoint. It was the Go Home Raw to SummerSlam coming up this Saturday. And when I say it did not disappoint, I'm not talking like, oh my god, it had stellar matches or gripping epic stories or fantastic moments. Nah, it helped set up to where, okay, y'all want to go and watch Saturday. That's what I mean. So before we're going to do that, just like always, we're going to switch gears, talk about last week via the SmackDown Rewind. Trying to do it a little sexy roll in the R's like Ricardo Montalban. And, well, the big highlights from last week's SmackDown show started out with Jay and Roman in the ring. You know, early preview of Tribal Combat, and yep, Jay was in there first, and then Roman came out. Crowd started chanting Uso, 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 hyping up, cheering for Jay. Roman, man, both guys were pretty much hitting it out the park. See, I'm so hyped for it, I can't get my damn words right. They were hitting it out the park with it, you know, with Roman. You really think you can beat me? What makes you think you can beat me? And Jay just looking at him, because I already did. And come this Saturday, I'm gonna do it again. And Roman just looking like, oh. But man, I tell you, the one line Roman said that fucking sold it for me, hands down, was, you see, you got this all wrong. Because even if you win, I still win. You know why? Because I'm Roman Reigns. So if you win, even if I lose, I'm still Roman Reigns. What happens to you when you lose? And Jay's just like, oh fuck, I didn't think about that. Having a oh fuck, I didn't think about that kind of look on him. But no confrontation, no physical assaults happened during this. It ended with Jay hugging Roman, pretty much saying, come Saturday, I beat you once and I'm gonna beat you again. And then walked off. So we fast forward, there's a segment backstage where Jay's walking, he sees Grayson Waller. Waller does what Waller does best and annoys people, winds up saying, you know, hey, if you want, I'll have you on my show, the Grayson Waller effect, give you the Grayson Waller rub after your loss against Roman coming up on Saturday. Slaps him, then winds up going, talking to Pierce, saying he wants a match with Waller. We'll get into that in a minute. So, other highlights from SmackDown. We had the U.S. Invitational match between Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar, and the match was cooking. It was going good. And then it wasn't. Santos went for a suicide dive. Rey was on the outside. He caught Rey. However, Rey wound up hit the way Rey landed and hit the ground. You could see it, his head went like he caught some gnarly whiplash on it. No injury to the neck or nothing, but what it looked like he got his bell rung and, you know, possibly concussed. Once that happened, then they went to break like it was normal. And then they came back from break. You could see the medical team circling Rey. And Santos just looking like, oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Eventually, the ref called for a stoppage. Rey couldn't continue, so your winner by default is Santos. So we're going to get Santos Escobar versus Austin Theory for the U.S. title. Cool to see, but don't like the circumstances on how it got to that point, unfortunately. Yeah. Next up, we had Ashanti the Adonis from Hit Row going against L.A. Knight. Yeah, dummy, yeah, let me talk to you. Now, I know everyone out there is saying that L.A. Knight, yeah, should be in the main event picture, and I'm not arguing that. I've been saying for years the guy is a main event caliber player, you know? But, and I say this, so listen closely, and it is not an insult. Unfortunately, not everyone can be the main event guy, and not everyone can be world champion. You know, as much as there are other guys out there that I would love to see as a main event level, on a main event level, as a world champion. Unfortunately, not all of them get there because timing, you know, a matter of spot opening on the card, you know, things like that. And it's just, it is what it is. However, an old saying I heard Ted DiBiase say once you get over, you're never going to need to be over again. So once you get, and he's over. He's over with the people. So, you know, he could go on, not be on TV for like the next 2 weeks, and then come out just like nothing ever happened. So, yeah, dummy, yeah, he's the top guy, he's the top guy. It's a matter of when. I'm hoping when. I'm hoping it's a matter of when he's at that main event level, not if. But in all honesty, even if LA Knight was put in a main event picture, could you really see LA Knight being the one to dethrone Roman Reigns? So, next up we got Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair teaming up, against the women's tag champions Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. And yes, can they coexist? The short answer, yeah-ish. You know, begrudgingly, they did, and it was very much so what you would expect. It was a can they coexist kind of moment. Charlotte and Bianca got the win. Charlotte forcing herself to come in, do natural selection, get the 1, 2, 3. Bianca then screaming and yelling, "Why'd you tag yourself in? I had it. I was going to get us a win." You know, kind of like that. And then the squawking back and forth. Excuse me. Then we had Karrion Kross going against the Machine Gun Carl Anderson, and it was very much what you expected. Anderson got put on the ass end of an ass kicking, Kross got the win, and yeah. So now we come to the last part of SmackDown. It was Jey Uso going against Grayson Waller. Good match. It was a decent match. Roman came out ringside, was watching the whole thing, did not interfere in any way, shape, or form at any point. He was just sitting there like, continue. Go ahead. I want to watch. I'm here for the show. I'm here for the show. And just sat there like that the whole time. And then watched as he went on. So, decent match. It was good. Jey got the win by all means, doing a spear. You know, kind of like doing a fuck you to Roman while he's ringside to show him he can. And then gets a 1, 2, 3. That is it. Afterwards then, Solo and Roman come into the ring, beat the living hell out of Jey, hit him with the spear spike combo, and yeah, and scene. So that is it for SmackDown. So now that we are done that, now we're going to talk about Raw. It started off with the walking douche nozzle himself, Logan Paul, out there. Oh, joy of fucking joys. That's on how I feel about that guy. Yeah. Seriously, I'm pretty sure I would rather watch paint dry or grass grow over seeing or hearing his content. But, anyways, he's out there doing the normal, I don't give a fuck about this town. You know, if God was going to give the country an enema, he'd stick the hose right up here in this city. And all this, that, and the other kind of bullshit. And then Ricochet came up. Oh, hold up there, homie. Now listen, you may not care about any of this, you know, because you're the big superstar, but I guarantee all the people here in Houston, Cheap Pop, don't want to hear a damn word you got to say. Now, I'm going to make this simple. You and I, we going to lock horns at SummerSlam, and it is going to be off the hook. And keep in mind, I'm paraphrasing all this, mind you. And both guys are hyping it up. Paul winds up showing a clip from Royal Rumble saying that this started out from there, from when they both did that double springboard spot and all that. And then it's like, alright, yep. Just going to leave it at that. We ain't going to come Saturday, I'm going to whoop your ass. Come Saturday, I'm going to whoop your ass. And then they go to leave it at that. And then Paul, when I beat you, and they say you're a winner, that's right there. Samantha, and that's your fiance, ain't it? It's gonna feel real funny for you to hear her say, "Your winner, Logan Paul," which then made Ricky snap, start swinging at him, then them two started going at it. It was a back and forth tussle for a minute until Ricochet got the upper hand. Went to go for a springboard jump, and then Paul, boom, caught him with a right, and then that was it. Yeah, you don't fuck with a man's family, you don't fuck with a man's wallet, and you don't fuck with a man's family. That's two specific rules in life I got, and I don't blame Ricochet for jumping like that, even if it was, whether it was or wasn't scripted into the show, I would have done the same. So with that said, let's get into the first match of the night. It is Matt Riddle going up against Ludwig Keiser, and, well, it happened. I mean, it wasn't like a, oh my god, this is amazing type of match, but if I had to give it on a 1 to 5 scale, and I hate kind of doing this kind of bit because I really don't want to try and come off all Meltzer-ish like, 2.5, 3. You know, it was, I mean, I had some nice back and forth with Riddle leading the pace, and, you know, he was leading it in post-commercial break, but, yeah, the match was what it was. Keiser got the win when he moved to avoid Riddle doing a moonsault, then hit him with a boom, popped him with an enziguri, and then did this really mean-looking DDT. And, folks, listen, I did backyard stuff, yes. My finisher, I did a DDT, and I watched tape, hours of tape, seeing on how Jake the Snake did it, to make sure I dropped that sumbitch just like he did. And so I'm real fickle about DDTs. No different than you see some people real fickle about on how they do a super kick or an arm drag or, you know, and all kinds of different things. I will say this. That was a nice looking DDT, and I'm like, ooh, damn. I like that. So, yeah. Next up, we got Maxxine Dupri in her debut singles match against Valhalla, and I'll say it was kind of clunky at the start, but it was decent enough. I thought it was nice. It was a good welcome. It was a good coming out match for Maxxine, who got the win when she had Valhalla up in an electric chair. She had her on her shoulders in an electric chair position, dropped back, and then arched herself up almost in like a, what looked almost kind of like a yoga position to go into a pin, get the 1, 2, 3. You know, I dug it. I dug the finish. I thought it was cool. So that completely, the finish completely took me out of the, well, this is kind of clunky-ish kind of feel. Next up, we got Shinsuke Nakamura going up against the Sicilian psychopath Tommaso Ciampa. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the old Ring of Honor days. But either way, we have Nakamura versus Tommaso Ciampa, and really good ROH vibes. These two, yeah, they did have a match once in ROH back when New Japan first struck a deal with Ring of Honor during the Sinclair broadcast era. And it was a good match. I'm not talking about that match then, but I'm talking about this one now. Man, this was good. Ciampa, he was leading early on. A lot of good action. I dug the hell out of it. Match came to an end when Nakamura, he had Ciampa set up what looked like it was going for like an abdominal stretch and then rolled over into a roll-up. And then you could see he grabbed a handful of tights and pulled up with it for the 1, 2, 3. And you could just see a snarky little look on him like, yeah, I may have cheated, but you can't prove it. Which, given that it's Nakamura, he could pull off that fucking kind of cocky attitude. So next matchup, we got Chad Gable going up against Gunther in a beat the clock match. This came to be because Gable and Otis were celebrating Maxxine's victory, and then Imperium came over, started talking trash like, how could you hang around with garbage like that? Referring to Otis, and Otis getting ready to jump, oh, easy big guy. And then Gable, if you think you're so big and bad, tell you what, big man, how about you step up? I could beat you in 5 minutes. In fact, how about you step into the ring with me and we'll put 5 minutes on the clock. So here we go. So Gunther has to beat Gable in 5 minutes or less. And a lot of good, and during those 5 minutes it was back and forth, and Gable, man, good God. Chad fucking Gable put his fucking working shoes on for this match. And it went to the timer went all the way down to 0. And when the ring announcer said, the time limit has ended, so you're a winner by default. Chad Gable, Gunther, he was all sorts of furious. No, restart the clock. And then you could see the ref and then the timekeeper talking to each other, and then you hear the ring announcer say, the match has been restarted. So now we go back to that, and man, again, it was more like the 5 minutes, but more drawn out with a lot of good action. And at one point you saw Gable deadlift Gunther. So, and it's like, that is one big boy. He is hauling. God fucking damn. Wow. Like, whoa. Now, match eventually came to an end. Gunther, he eventually just shifted gears into like, fuck it, I'm done playing around kind of mode. Popped Gable with a boot, a lariat, and then powerbomb 1, 2, 3. Then got on the ring announcer table. All of you get used to this. Get used to this sight of seeing me as your Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. Drew McIntyre, you do not have a chance at beating me. Come SummerSlam, I will end Drew McIntyre. So yeah. Next up we got, well, what we're supposed to have was the Becky Lynch coming out, challenging Trish. Thank you, Trish, for her match that she so evidently won last week. Trish and Zoey came out. Trish said, you know, I'll give you your match. I'm a woman of my word, but I'm going to give you your match. But it's going to be when I say. And then Adam Pearce, whoa. You do not get to say when matches happen. I do. And I say we have this match now. And then the whole time Trish is walking out, what? No. This can't be. I'm not ready. So once Trish gets into the ring, Becky starts swinging at her, and then Zoey gets into the ring, starts swinging at Trish, and then it becomes a 2-on-1 beatdown where Zoey and Trish beat the living crap out of Becky Lynch. And then, yeah. So then they they fast forward. You see Zoey and Trish walking backstage. Like, yeah, we totally kicked her ass. Yeah, we did. And then Pierce, bet you think that was clever, didn't you? Thought that was a clever way of getting around it? Well, guess what? You said you didn't have time to prepare. You said you didn't have time to be ready. Well, I'm going to give you plenty of time, because in 2 weeks' time, in your own home turf, Winnipeg, Manitoba, referring to Canada, because we all know Trish is from Ontario, and Winnipeg, Manitoba, you are Raw. You are going to go one-on-one against Becky Lynch. Now, I had time to sit and think about this. Well, yes, I've been thinking nonstop this was going to be at SummerSlam. I thought it was going to be at SummerSlam. This has a SummerSlam-like feel for the match. However, why not? Why not show a pay-per-view quality match or a pay-per-view caliber-like match on TV to hype up television? And not only that, rules in having television in Canada is kind of funny because you have to have a certain amount of Canadian talent, certain amount of people from Canada on TV in there. So, yeah. So I see why they may do that also. So now we come to main event of the night. Sami Zayn and Seth Elizabeth Rollins, because his middle name is not frickin' damn it, going against Dominik Mysterio, the first of the Guerrero bloodline to win WWE and NXT Gold, as well as helping cement the Guerrero legacy as being the only wrestling bloodline to hold both the United States and the North American Championship. Hold on to that bit of info for wrestling trivia. Dominik Mysterio and Damian Priest. And I gotta tell you, this was a good match. They had to fight as Judgment Day was coming down. That Sami and Seth just said, fuck this, ran out and started fighting them up on the walkway. The heels, they were leading into the break. Sami wound up getting a hot tag in post-break. Seth, he was the punching bag for like the first 30 to 40 seconds after the commercial break, which I thought was nice. It was nice and cool to see because because given that Seth's world champ, you don't normally expect to see him as the punching bag for a minute. But no, he was. So cool. Excuse me, sorry. And then after Sami started working his rounds for a minute, then Seth came back in, getting the hot tag. Action was good. I thought it was a decent match. It came to an end when Priest hit Seth with the Razor's Edge, and just as he was about to go for a pin, he picked his head up and then saw the briefcase. Like, oh fuck. Fuck! This is my opportunity. Finn, hand me the briefcase! Hand me the briefcase! And then Finn kind of looking like, the briefcase, but my match? Oh. Cashing in! Finn hesitated for a few seconds. Cashing in! So then he goes to hands it to Priest, and as he turns around, Seth, boom, pops him with a super kick with the briefcase right in the front of his face. So yeah, then that happened. Sami then hits a haluva kick to Finn Balor to keep him out. Dominik got taken out early on, and then Seth does the curb stomp on the Priest for the 1, 2, 3. Your winners, Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins. So, yeah. All in all, I thought this was a good show. It helped build up to SummerSlam, especially with the Cody Brock Lesnar segment, where they both locked eyes on each other and then got into they got into a major fight and all that jazz. Got into a major fight and everything. So I'm expecting Cody and Brock to honestly steal the damn show. So with that said, folks, that is it for this week's show. So don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the episodes when you can. Please look for me on the Twitter, because it's mama named the Twitter. I'ma call it Twitter. Look for me on the Twitter at Tim Vicious. Also, folks, look for me on that Threads, John. I'm on there as well, Tim Vicious, and try and be on there a little more active. Thank you to my executive producer, Ollie Ray Ben, who did provide the music for this week's show. Make sure y'all check out us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud. Details are down below. Also, thank you to contributor of the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. A little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, folks, LFC is on Tubi now. It's on Tubi. Tubi costs zero. So you got literally no excuse to not watch it. Trust me, you'll like it. Also, make sure you check out whatevernew.net for some vicious rants apparel. Help support the show. I have a kid getting ready to go back to school in a month, as well as a birthday, as well as his birthday and Christmas 3 months after that. So, buy some shirts, hoodies, tents, help support the show, help pay the bills. And folks, don't forget to follow these cool ass guys right on the Twitter. Kenny Killer, DSB on the squad, the Diabolical RA, Sergeant Curry, Fancy Dubs in your face. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck you.